All right, everybody. Welcome to week 8 of this fantasy football season. I've got my playoff beard going. Hopefully, you do too. It's a dog eat dog world out there, and nobody really there to help you but me, your faithful friend, Dennis Farrell. Let's talk some fantasy football. First and foremost, let's knock out this week's matchups. San Diego at Denver, Detroit at Atlanta. That's a 9 a.m. game, so keep your eye open if you're kind of having waffling on, Calvin Johnson or not. That's a very, very early start, and that's Eastern Standard Time, so Central everywhere else. That is a different start time for you guys, so be prepared to set your lineups super quick on that one. Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, New Jersey Jets. I don't want to call them the New York. How about Cleveland at New England or Chicago at New England? That's going to be a good matchup, by the way. Seattle, Carolina, Miami. How about Jacksonville? Baltimore, Cincinnati. You have Texans versus Tennessee. You have St. Louis versus Kansas City, a Missouri matchup right there. Philly at Arizona. Indianapolis at Pittsburgh. Oakland at Cleveland. Green Bay, New Orleans. Washington, Oakland. Now, are we ready to talk about this week's news? We got a lot of it. Let's knock some out. While everybody's out picking up Bryce Brown off the waiver wires, keep an eye on Anthony Dixon. It looks like he may have a chance to be the starting running back in Buffalo with Fred Jackson out for at least 4 weeks and C.J. Spiller probably out for the rest of the season, although they did put him on the short-term ready-to-return IR list. You have Reggie Wayne should be maybe probably out week 8. He might be back by week 9. Ryan Matthews to miss week 8. He should be back by week 9. I think week 10. But that means Brendan Oliver is a trade now candidate for me. He has a ton of value. He's coming off a few big games. Last week was a dud, but he has a few big games under his belt. He has a lot of heat on him right now. Think about throwing him into a trade and getting rid of him, because once Ryan Matthews comes back, his value will take a big hit. Darren Sproles should be active for this week. He was scheduled to miss 1 to 2 weeks with that sprained MCL, but it looks like he will play. I do have him benched. It looks like he had a total of 5. He averages 5 touches in the last 2 games. Not very good for me. I have him on my bench until at least he proves that he's a top star again. AJ Green's week 8 status is still up in the air. He's been hurt, telling teammates that he will play, but I still have him on my bench. As I said, Calvin Johnson is ahead of schedule. He's actually practicing. It was rumored that he would not be back until the week 9 bye for Detroit Lions. Once again, that's a 9:30 kickoff Eastern Standard Time for Detroit. You know what? Safe than sorry, unless I hear encouraging reports Friday afternoon. I will keep you updated via Twitter. I'll tell you that at the end of the video. But right now, he is on my bench. And Pierre Thomas will be set to miss 2 to 4 weeks. I don't know. I might have a name for you to pick up. All right, guys. Waiver wire ads. We all know Trey Madison is one of those big names we're picking up. Zach Stacy had 0 touches last week. That's speaking volumes for what his value is. To me, I would not drop him. But I'm not playing Zach Stacy until I see how this shakes out. But Trey Madison is the guy I'm picking up like crazy. Bryce Brown has been picked up like crazy. But once again, I said earlier in this video, keep an eye out on Anthony Dixon. Bryce Brown still has my money on him. He was very productive when he was in Philadelphia, and Buffalo traded for him for a reason. Denard Robinson is now the new starting running back in Jacksonville. He had a 127 and 1 touchdown last week, which is very good. Although that, believe it or not, that is the most production out of a running back Jacksonville has had in 35 games. So keep an eye on that. He beat out Storm Johnson and Toby Gerhart for that, and he played 46 of 75 snaps for Jacksonville. So I like him. What can I say? Denard Robinson. I've picked him up in a few leagues. Doug Baldwin had 11 targets without Percy Harvin, which means I like him a lot. I've traded for him, and I've also traded him away in a couple of deals. So keep an eye out on Doug Baldwin. Like I said, 11 targets. He had 7 catches for 123 and 1 touchdown. I think he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver. Will he put up these kind of numbers? Probably not. He probably, in my mind, will average around 80 yards a game, maybe not a touchdown. So those are a few guys you want to pick up. As the week progresses, I will have more names. We're getting into that time of the year where your players either dropping like flies or you're set, but you had that number one waiver wire pick, and you have to be smart with when you use it. And trades, guys. This is a season where I am trading like crazy. If you have a couple of these waiver wire guys that has a ton of value, now's the time to try to trade them while their value is high. Some of these guys are going to be in situations where their counterpart will be returning soon, which will hurt their value. Please, please, one common thing I see in fantasy football is people think, well, this guy's been lights out for the last 3 weeks. He's going to win the job. There's no way. Well, when the incumbent comes back and takes the job over, you see zero value out of them. You can take these players and trade them for better, talented players that will produce in the long run and have a hold on that job. So keep that in mind, guys. All right. Now, you need info, you need help, you can shoot me an email at dennis77feral@gmail.com. By the way, you can follow me on Twitter. I know you guys are out there on Twitter. I see you. I hear you tweeting. Follow me at dennis77feral. I'm always, game days, there to help you. And by the way, you can follow me on Facebook, Dennis Farrell, Farrell. Shoot me a friend request. I'll also help you. Send me a message. Let me know where you found the video. I love when my fans reach out to me. And by the way, Hail Hydra.